Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wekiva High School welcomes you once again to Mustang Arena for the second game in our triple header. Please welcome our guests from Ocoee High School. They are the Knights. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Starting on the court for Ocoee, number 1, Mason James, number 13, Eberson Clark, number 21, Woodley, number 22, Javion Wells-Reddick, and number 32, Trayvon Alexis. For the Mustangs, number 4, Jermaine Hardy Jr., number 11, Joseph McRae, number 15, Adonis Davis, number 32, Jalen Felix, and number 33, Pete Lewis.
Do you know what Woodley's first name is?
For those of you who are here in the arena, make sure your friends and family back home know that we are live streaming all of our games this afternoon, including this one. You can tune in to the NFHS Network or YouTube. The channel name is Wekiva Sports on YouTube. Just search for that on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, or go to the NFHSnetwork.com and search for either Wekiva or Ocoee. All right, welcome to Mustang Arena, and my name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, and we are going to start things off with a steal, and if you'll forgive me, I'm going to have to switch the order of the teams here. I did not notice until just now that Ocoee is wearing their white uniforms and Wekiva is wearing their dark uniforms, which means that Wekiva, out of necessity, is going to have to be visitor on the scoreboard. That's okay, we can flip that. Just give me a moment. Foul is called against Knights number 22, Javion Wells-Reddick. That's his first, and the team's first. Oh, dear.
So that is Pete Lewis at the line. Game just started, as Mark just mentioned. 7:35 remaining in the first quarter. Wekiva comes in with a 5-9 record. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. And, of course, also as Mark mentioned, this is the second of 3 games today. After this game, the varsity teams will take to the floor approximately 15 minutes. And so Ocoee comes up, and they're facing a stiff Wekiva defense here in the very early going. They will maintain possession of, no, actually it will be a turnover.
Held ball, possession, Mustangs.
So 1-0 is the score. Wekiva in the lead on the free throw. This is Hardy. Oh, behind the back, stop, pop, and no drop. And a strong rebound underneath. Doing some Windex work, that's Clark. And he will also draw a foul. Slow pace here in the early going. We played only 47 seconds. Inbound ball. Jones will bring it up on the left side, and he immediately loses it. And Hardy now comes up, and he will set the offense. As we drop under 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter, the scoop shot is no good. And Ocoee will come back the other way, try their first field goal. It's also Trey. Doesn't catch the rim. And Wekiva out fast in transition. And Wekiva will maintain possession of the ball. First substitution of the game. 1 minute, 20 seconds in. McRae with the inbound. Swings it out to Hardy on the right. Can't get the tray to drop. And Clark once again doing Windex under the boards. Long outlet pass to Alexis, who draws the foul.
Foul is called on Pete Lewis. His first, the team's second.
And scored the first of the 2 free throw attempts, 1-1. Excuse me, 2-0. And the second one, no good. Hardy bring the ball up. The point guard sets the offense. He'll come up to the top. Bounce pass. And the drive from Lewis, unable to get the bank. And we will come back the other way. Ocoee with possession of the ball. Trying to go down low along that baseline. Kick it out for the tray. Drain the rain.
Emerson Clark for 3.
And so Ocoee ups the lead to 5-0. Hardy with possession of the ball. Wekiva in the dark uniforms. He's being hounded now by the Ocoee defense. Does a nice job of stopping and going. Beautiful pass underneath and score the deuce for
Jermaine
Felix.
Hardy Jr. to Jalen Felix for 2.
So Wekiva breaks onto the board. 5:30 remaining in the first quarter. 5-2. And Ocoee's going to try the tray again off the rim. Long rebound picked up by Kajuste. And on the third attempt, make the withdrawal in the foul.
Javion Wells-Reddick gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against Jalen Felix, his first, the team's third.
So Ocoee had not gotten any offensive rebounds until this possession, and they come up with 3, certainly paying dividends with 2 points. Unable to get the free throw, Clark. And the score remains at 7-2 as we approach 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Wekiva with possession of the ball. That's Hardy bringing it up past half court. Swing the ball around to the left wing, and Baker unfortunately cannot find the grip. And another turnover. The second turnover of the game for Wekiva, so they're certainly doing a fairly good job of keeping possession. Unfortunately, they have not been able to convert their free throws. Kajuste with that attempt, unable to get it. Felix scored the rebound for him, gives it off to Hardy, who will now set the offense. Comes over to the right. He's going to take it himself and go off the board.
Mustang basket by Jermaine Hardy Jr.
So that cuts the lead, 7-4, 4:22 remaining in the first quarter. Ocoee having some trouble keeping grip on that ball. Pass down low along the baseline, the spin, and the bank for the big man.
Trayvon Alexis adds 2 for the Knights.
Trayvon Alexis upping Ocoee's lead to 9-4. 4 minutes into this ballgame. This is junior varsity action. Stick around, about 15 minutes at the end of this game. The varsity teams will take to the court. As Wekiva unable to drop the deuce. Long outlet pass to Jones. Wekiva catches the break, unable to get the bank to drop. But an offensive rebound, the 4th of this quarter in game for Ocoee. We also have an injury, a Wekiva injury. That's Baker. He's being looked at by Coach Hardy. And so we have a stoppage in the action with 3:44 remaining. 9-4 is the score. Ocoee in the lead. They have led from start to finish. I'm Neil Fisher along with Mark Barchi, bringing you live junior varsity action from Mustang Gymnasium. After this game, we will have varsity action about 15 minutes after the conclusion. And so taking a quick look at the statistics, right now offensive rebounding has been the difference. Ocoee coming up with 4 of them, and that's resulted in 4 points. Wekiva yet to pull an offensive board down. Again, your score is 9-4, so you take away those 4 points, it's only 5-4. Ocoee with possession of the ball. And now they inbound and go back to work. Down on the right corner, they swing it around. They'll come back up to the wing. Back down low, Alexis forcing the action and a foul.
Foul called against Jalen Felix, his second, the team's fourth. Well, that was spectacular in every way except for the fact that it didn't go in.
Some strong Windex working under the board for Wekiva. 3 players crashing that board hard. And now they're not unable to get that shot off, but they will catch a break. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ocoee. And Hardy is going to have to retrieve the ball. He is being guarded very commitment by Allen. Unable to get a shot off the board, but the bank score it from Baker.
Jalen Felix picks up 2 for the Mustangs.
So Felix doing work off the board. Come down at the other end. The tray kicks off the heel.
That's off the backboard equipment, out of bounds, Mustangs ball.
2:53 remaining, 9-6. Ocoee in the lead. Wekiva with possession of the ball. Hardy brings the ball up once again over half court, and he will draw a pick. He'll try the left side. Nothing doing there. Good double team by Ocoee, but gets the pass down low along the baseline. Davis with the sweet move, but an even sweeter move on defense is the Ocoee as they come up with the block. McCray will inbound the ball. Hardy gets loose on the corner, unable to drop the tray. And a scramble underneath the board. Wekiva comes out. Hardy again for the tray. Drain the rain. Tie.
3-point basket for Jermaine Hardy Jr. Boy, it's a good thing Coach Hardy didn't get the timeout that he asked for the first time he asked him. That would have been 3 points off. 30-second timeout called by the Mustangs. And we'll be right back.
Mustang Gymnasium is the scene. 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Ocoee, Wekiva tied at 9-all. Make that 12-9 Ocoee.
Frank Allen for 2.
Make that 11-9. Excuse me, that was a deuce. And Wekiva in the dark uniforms will maintain possession of the ball. Neil Fisher along with Mark Barchi on the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. And 2:03 remaining in the first quarter. 11-9 is the score. Wekiva with possession, trailing. They are the home team underneath the triad of stampeding Mustangs on the far wall. Perimeter rotation. Ocoee defense doing a good job of moving with that rotation, but Hardy will drive the lane and draw the foul.
Foul is called against Mustangs, number 15, Adonis Davis. His second personal foul, the team's 5th.
And so Hardy will go to the line. He is the leading scorer so far with 5 points, make that 6. Nice stroke. 1:49 remaining in the first quarter. Wekiva in the white uniforms looking to tie the ball game, in the dark uniforms. Looking to tie the game. They will not be able to do that. Free throw no good, and Ocoee takes over possession of the ball. From the right corner, no drain the rain, but strong Windex work. Quick rotation back out. And that is Alexis doing work on the boards in on the bank.
Taylor Douglas picks up 2 for the Knights.
And Ocoee now ups the lead to 13-10.
Hand check is called against Adonis Davis, his second, the team's fourth.
So Wekiva comes in with a 5-9 record. Junior varsity action as we approach the end of the first quarter. And again, a bit of a surprise. Wekiva in the dark uniforms. And the defense provided by Ocoee is going to force McCray to step over into the backcourt and a change of possession. Fourth turnover in this quarter for Wekiva. Ocoee with 2, 1 minute remaining. The Knights in those white uniforms have had the lead since the beginning. A field goal, no good. 2 field goals, no good, and Wekiva comes down with the long rebound. The bounce pass, a second pass, and swatted away. Great defensive recovery by the Ocoee defense. Wekiva maintains possession, the drive, and foul called with 42 seconds remaining.
Taylor Douglas called with his first personal foul, the team's fourth.
And the bucket snakes off. Davis with the attempt, and Ocoee comes down the other way. And coast-to-coast action results in a foul, the fifth committed by Wekiva.
Foul is called against Knights number 24.
So that is Emerson Clark at the line, shooting for shooting for Ocoee, who has a 13-10 lead. They've led from the start, scoring the first 7 points. Second free throw is good. That makes the score 14-10 as we are now 30 seconds from the conclusion of the first quarter. Hardy will bring the ball up for Wekiva. We are live from Mustang Gymnasium. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, and Hardy was his plethora of stop and goes and left and right moves.
Called for traveling, Knights ball. Less than 20 seconds to go now. I think we got your scoreboard at the bottom of the screen fixed now to reflect what's actually on the court. Had to redesign some graphics there on the fly. Foul is called against Mustangs, number 24.
So at the line is Taylor Douglas, looking to up Ocoee's 14-10 lead. Unable to convert that first free throw. And the second one coming, this one nothing but net. 1 of 2 at the line, 15-10 is now the score, 17 seconds remaining. And Wekiva has the opportunity to take the last shot of this first quarter. Looking to up their 5-9 record. Lewis is going to drive the lane, and he's rejected. Gets his own rebound, the loose ball whistle, and...
It looks like it's a team control foul. And yes, it is. Offensive foul is called against Jalen Felix. It's his...
And the last shot taken, and score it off the bank! And wow, the perfect ending for Ocoee. Wekiva unable to take advantage of their opportunity, and not only does Ocoee do so with their opportunity, but they get the tray. 18-10 is the score at the end of the first quarter, and we'll be back from on the Wekiva Athletic Network.
Jamal Jean-Baptiste hits the 3 at the buzzer, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. We'll be back after a quick break.
Oh, welcome back to Mustang Gymnasium. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, bringing you live action. This is junior varsity action. Wekiva also trails by an 18-10 score as we begin the second quarter. Trade no good. That was Jean-Baptiste draining a tray as the buzzer went off. And that has certainly given Ocoee a boost going into the second quarter.
Eberson Clark steals 2 for the Knights to open up second quarter scoring.
And there you see that tangible translation as the score is now 20-10. Ocoee doubling up Wekiva's score. Ocoee in the midst of a 10-1 run. They've led from start to finish, and that 10-1 run has upped the lead to double, but a response from Wekiva. And yet another response from Ocoee.
Jamal Jean-Baptiste for 2.
As Jean-Baptiste goes to the bucket and drops the deuce and ups the lead to 22-13. Wekiva with possession of the ball. A bit of an oddity in high school basketball. Wekiva, the home team, wearing the dark uniforms. The trade does not drop, and we will come back the other way.
Yeah, that's been driving me bananas all game long. No basket, traveling Mustangs ball. Alston Ware's bucket there will not count on the layup. If you're somebody like me who's been scoring basketball games on and off since 1997, there's a reflex that you build in your brain, just like a piano player learns to play the left hand without thinking about it. That white is home and dark is away. And I am having to unlearn that and push the buttons on the opposite side of the score, even though I know Wekiva is obviously home. Foul called against Knights number 4, Jamal Jean-Baptiste. It's his first personal foul. The team's 7th at the line shooting is Alston Ware.
So, Mark, you are not alone. Of course, no, I haven't actually been scoring per se basketball, but I have been covering basketball, and of course I did play myself when I was a youth, and so I'm looking at 30-plus years of this oddity. So again, the home team, Wekiva, is actually wearing the dark uniforms, and Ocoee, the visiting team, is wearing the white uniforms. They enjoy a 23-13 lead and have led from start to finish, scoring the first 7 of the 9 points, and then they put together a 10-1 run, which almost doubled the lead. But Wekiva hangs around, draining the rain.
3-point basket for Jermaine Hardy Jr.
So Hardy Jr. now up to 9 points. But
answered quickly by Javion Wells-Reddick of the Knights.
And so the bank shot, score it, and that makes your score 25-16 in the second quarter. Wekiva with possession of the ball. A bobble, another bobble, scramble underneath just to the right of the basket. Wekiva still maintains possession. The quick pass, McCrae's shot
blocked.
Does not drop.
Put back not there for Davis either. Rebound ultimately to Wells-Reddick.
And now Ocoee with possession will try to up their lead. Some nice passing. Jean-Baptiste with a second rain.
Jamal Jean-Baptiste from Taylor Douglas for 3.
28-16 as Ocoee is now methodically extending that lead. Hardy will try to answer, unable, fires no good. And some strong Windex work underneath the boards. That's Wells-Reddick pulling the rebound down. And of course now Ocoee will be looking to up that lead from 12 points. Wells-Reddick with the ball.
3 seconds in the paint. Mustangs ball.
And so we'll have a change of possession. Wekiva will take over possession. Hardy Jr., the leading scorer tonight, 9 points. Your leading scorer for Ocoee is Jean-Baptiste. Of course, he's drained a couple of trays, including one as the buzzer sounded at the first quarter. That was definitely a kick to the gut for Wekiva.
Tipped there by Wells-Reddick, and it's going to ultimately cost the Mustangs a turnover. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 1, Dejon Joyner.
So Wekiva's actually outshot the Knights in the second quarter, 6-5 margin. However, that lead has grown from 11 to 12. And this is Wells Reddick going to the hoop, collapsing defense for Wekiva, and they come out with the ball after the block shot. That's Lewis going coast to coast. Baker.
Kevin Baker for two.
Baker, no hesitation, and a nice soft touch, floating the deuce in. Cuts the lead to 28-18 as we get a timeout.
30-second timeout called by the Knights. We'll be back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. 4 minutes, 9 seconds remaining in the second period. And after a back and forth start, the Knights have been in control for the last 8 minutes of game time or so, and they now lead by 10.
28-18 is your scores. We are now 4 minutes away from halftime.
Good work there at midcourt, but not convertible by Jermaine Hardy. Offensive rebound will give the Mustangs another chance. They had some personnel changes during the timeout.
Wekiva not only 4 offensive rebounds in this game so far. Ocoee with 6. And that's one of the differences in Ocoee taking the lead. Wekiva with the possession, kicks off the heel. Grabbing the Windex and doing the work is Baker, and he will draw the foul as well.
No, that's not a foul either. That's going to be 3 seconds. Knights ball.
So Wekiva's starting to come alive on the offensive boards, but they have been unable to convert that.
Mason James and David Manley into the game for the Knights.
Wekiva's turned the ball over 8 times. Again, 3:20 remaining before halftime. Ocoee has led from start to finish. This is Wells Reddick doing the spin move, but up and down, palming the ball.
Carrying, Mustangs ball. Palming, carrying, of course, 2 synonyms for the same violation. So officials will let you get away with that to a point, but if it comes to the point where it actually changes your ability to execute a play because you're essentially holding the ball at more than a 90-degree angle, they're going to call you on that.
And Wekiva in the dark uniforms with possession. They had possession, an errant pass, and taking it to the hoop on the transition.
Taylor Douglas for 2.
Yeah, Douglas, no pause on that transition opportunity. This is Hardy Jr. And he's going to set the offense down to McCray on the right wing, back up to Hardy Jr. at the top. Over to the left wing, and an air ball fired. McCray doing some work there along the baseline, coming up with that rebound, gives it back to Hardy Jr. He's going to say, I'll take it myself, and floats the ball in for the deuce.
Jermaine Hardy Jr. from the key for 2.
Important deuce for Wekiva, cuts the lead back down to 10, 30-20. 2 minutes before halftime, Ocoee maintains that rotation, and now they get one too many passes, and Wekiva will bring it down the other way. Hardy Jr. from the wing, drains the rain.
Jermaine Hardy Jr. for 3.
So Hardy Jr. going with 5 consecutive points.
Nice work there by Pete Lewis, tipping it into the waiting arms of Demir Simon for the turnover.
And with 1:40 left, the score is 30-23. Wekiva in the dark uniforms.
They're not ready to go quietly into the night yet.
Good
hustle by Lewis, but he can't quite pull in the board. Mason James ultimately comes up with it. Wekiva's closed the lead to 7.
The lead was as many as 14. And this is Douglas, and he has to take the ball out. Good interior defense by Wekiva, collapsing after that pass was completed. Now this is Reddick, And, oh, man, that's the kind of foul that coaches grow gray over.
Javion Wells-Reddick gets the basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. The Mustang foul is called against number 11, Joseph McCray. That's his first personal foul, the team's 9th.
Yeah, Wells-Reddick with a nice spin move, and then he lowered the shoulder, and McCray did not get out of the way. And that was really a very slow developing play as well. Yes, it did look as slow on the screen as it actually was. And just bad decision by McCray. Indecision, and Wells-Reddick took advantage. And we got some work, no banking. So Wekiva dodges a proverbial bullet there.
Yeah, that almost turned into a 4-point play.
Yeah, 2 opportunities for Ocoee to get the points after the free throw. Hardy drains the rain.
Jermaine Hardy Jr. from downtown. He's got 17 of the Mustangs' 26 points so far.
Yeah, and he's heated up here in the last minute or so, dropping a couple of trays. And Wekiva getting a break they need there. The ball rolls off that rim, and they will come down the other way, trailing by 6.
Yeah, Alexis did everything right there other than get the ball in the hoop.
32-26. Baker back to Hardy at the top. So Wekiva scoring 7 consecutive points to cut that lead all the way down to 6 as we approach the halftime. Hardy, 13 seconds. He's going to stop, pop, short, and Ocoee will come back the other way with the opportunity to get the last shot. They only have 5 seconds.
Manley for 3, short. That's it. That takes us to halftime, and the Mustangs have closed the Knights' lead, which was as high as 14. That lead has been closed to now 6. 32-26 is the score at intermission here in the JV contest, our second of 3 games here at Mustang Arena. And we'll take a break here with the Mustangs here at halftime of the JV contest. Again, as a reminder for those of you in the arena, all of our games tonight are being live streamed on YouTube as well as the NFHS network. So if you have friends and family who are not able to join us in person this afternoon, just have them search for Wekiva Sports on YouTube on their favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device. If you're on the NFHS network, you can find us there as well. Just search for Wekiva or Ocoee. We'll be back in about 9 minutes. Mustangs have the opening possession of the third period. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through the second half. In a 32-26 lead. As Neil mentioned earlier, Ocoee has led by as many as 14 points. The Mustangs have managed to cut that down to 6. They will see if they can continue to swing that momentum in the favor coming out of the break, as the tray here does not fall for the Mustangs and Wells Roddick gets the rebound. Also a programming note for those of you who may just be tuning in, the colors are backwards today. I assume someone had an issue with laundry. I don't know which team, but Wekiva is wearing their dark away jerseys and Ocoee is wearing their white home jerseys this afternoon, just to keep you on your toes.
So we begin the second half with both teams attempting the tray, neither dropping. As Mark mentioned, 32-26 is the lead being held by Ocoee, and that's a held ball. Wekiva possession.
Now it's going to be Ocoee possession because Wekiva brought it out at the break.
All right, again, different uniforms. And on that note, Coach Hardy said, we need a timeout. We can't let that happen. 34-26, early in the second half, Ocoee with the lead.
30-second timeout, Mustangs. I'll be back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher as Wells Reddick got second half scoring started for the Knights. Coach Hardy did not like the way things were shaping up.
Yeah, not only did he score, but it was an emphatic score, a slam, wham, bam, and now we have a 34-26 lead. That's Ocoee.
Wells Reddick picks up a block there. No shot, 3 seconds in the key. Knights fall.
And count that turnover to Wells Reddick, some great defense. Of course, he's obviously the biggest guy, tallest guy on the court. I'd say he goes at least 6'4", which is probably about the equivalent of 6'9" for varsity. But he used his body very effectively and efficiently. And now, of course, Wells Reddick goes to the lane, drops the shoulder.
Javion Wells Reddick gets the basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. The foul is called against Mustangs. Number 32, Jalen Felix. That's his fourth personal foul, the team's first this half.
So Wells Reddick once again using that tall frame of his to his advantage and Ocoee's advantage. Ocoee leading 36-26 with that free throw. It's now 37-26, 6:17 remaining in the third quarter. Wekiva will take over possession of the ball. And
checking into the game for the Mustangs is number 1, Dejon Joyner.
So taking a look at the stats from halftime, of course, remember the score was then 32-26, a 6-point lead. Certainly can see that difference in the shooting. 12 of 24 for Ocoee, 10 of 24 for Wekiva. So that's a 4-point differential. And then looking at the free throws, another 4 points, 5 of 12 for Ocoee and 1 of 2 for Wekiva.
Mason James is called with his first personal foul, the team's first. That will send number 33, Pete Lewis, to the free throw line. Shooting 2 for the Mustangs.
So Lewis still looking for his first points of the game. Rebounding was 16-13 in favor of Ocoee, and Wekiva had 9 turnovers compared to 8 for Ocoee. So again, the most tangible and noticeable difference in the statistics was the shooting. The field goals. Both teams took 24 as the second free throw does not drop, and guess who brings that down? Wells Reddick. Again, using that frame.
Yeah, he's the tallest guy on the court, and swing and a miss. I don't know, Woodley zigged when he should have zagged there.
So both teams shot 24 field goals in the first half. Ocoee made 12 for 50% compared to 10 for Wekiva. So that's your 4-point differential, and then 4 more points at the free throw line. However, they did have a slight advantage in all the other statistics as well, and the turnover advantages can continue to be in Ocoee's favor now with that most recent one. And Wekiva, to be honest, dodges the proverbial bullet there as that 4-foot bunny does not drop. Hardy trying to add to his game-high 17-point total. Includes 4 trays. Scramble under the basket, and it will remain, possession will switch to Ocoee. So 5:15 remaining in the third quarter, 37-27. Ocoee has led throughout by as many as 13. Wekiva cut the lead all the way down to 6 at halftime. Now it's back up to that 10. And Wells Reddick doing some work.
Wells Reddick from Taylor Douglas for 2.
Nice soft touch, gets that roll to go. The right way
nearly up to their game-high 14-point lead. They're up to 12 now.
Yeah, Ocoee scored 6 consecutive points. Wekiva obviously needs to come up with some baskets. Some points here. Baker unable to drop the tray.
Yeah, that was a wild shot, and Ocoee has been doing a good job for their part on defense, forcing the Mustangs to take those low percentage shots as Eberson Clark picks up the layup. And there you see that's a high percentage shot, and Clark just cut through the Mustang defense like butter. And that's been the real difference is, I mean, if you look at the shooting percentage, which I'm not, I don't have the formal statistics on that, but anecdotally.
Yeah, it was 12 of 24 for Ocoee and 10 of 24 in the first half for Wekiva. But I think that certainly has probably swung much more clearly in Ocoee's favor in the second half. As you mentioned, Mark, Wekiva just is not taking high-quality, high-percentage shots. A lot of them not only are distance, but not really angled up correctly with the shoulders to the basket. This is Hardy on the drive. He can't get it to go, but doing work and putting the deuce in.
Pete Lewis on the putback.
So some tough, rugged work underneath the basket. That'll give Wekiva some momentum. They're still
rough
down by 12.
Handling on the pass will prevent the Knights from scoring in transition. Another rough pass. Wells Reddick pulls it in, gets it to his partner in the key, but Clark can't get it to fall. And Kevin Baker probably would have been well served to get that possession a little stronger before he started dribbling, but he gets away with it this time. And there's a nice tray. Adonis Davis, 4-3 on the pass from Hardy Jr.
And that tray will cut the lead to 9, 41-32 as we approach 3 minutes before the fourth quarter. And a whistle, a foul.
Foul is called against Mustangs number 33, Pete Lewis. That's a second personal foul, the team's second.
So fouls has not been an issue so far. Nobody with more than 2 on either side.
Actually, that is not true. The Mustangs do have one player in foul trouble, and that's number 32. Felix has 4.
Okay. Everyone else with no more than 2 as we hit 3 minutes. And the tray will not drop for Clark. Wekiva will come the other way. They give up the ball, and Ocoee goes back to work. Loose ball picked up and make the withdrawal.
Knights basket scored by number 13, Eberson Clark. So again, Neil, we've seen the Knights being so much more successful in the paint. It hasn't always been pretty. They've had a lot of loose ball errors and not necessarily clean passes, but they always seem to come up with it at the end of the day.
Yeah, as they say, you don't get points for how pretty they look, and there's, well, this is going to be, yes, another example of points not looking pretty.
Taylor Douglas on the putback. Yeah, second chance basket there, and I mean, Alston Ware gets credit for the steal. Frankly, an ugly layup, but Douglas was there to clean up for him.
Yeah, 9, let's see, 13 turnovers for Wekiva now.
Pick
And 9
again.
offensive rebounds for Ocoee.
Taylor Douglas steals a Knights dunk. And that was just, I mean, the Mustangs made that a little too easy. Credit to Douglas, of course, who had that speed and precision there to take it away and then make the fast break. But, yeah, the Mustangs just have not been taking great care of the ball for the last several possessions.
Yeah, lost their focus once again. Ocoee took advantage immediately, forced the action immediately. And
Foul called against Mustangs number 4, Jermaine Hardy Jr., his second. The team's third.
And now Ocoee has its largest lead of the game, 47-32, 15 points. 1:41 remaining in the third quarter, and Ocoee does keep possession of the ball. The quick inbound pass to the corner, off the heel, scramble, a lot of hands, but no one able to corral the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a team defensive rebound for the Mustangs.
And so they will now have an opportunity to cut into what is the largest lead of the game for Ocoee. Ocoee scored 7 of the first 9 points, and they steadily increased the lead through most of the first half before settling for a 6-point lead at halftime. They came out and scored the first 6 points of the second half, and that's pretty much where we've been since then. And
Hardy in trouble, spins around, doesn't have any help, gets picked by Allen. Fast break in transition and fouled from behind. Taylor Douglas draws the foul on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Mustangs. Number 11, Joseph McCray, his second, the team's fourth. And yeah, he's lucky he didn't get called for an intentional there because he was coming from behind. I mean, of course, an intentional foul doesn't really change anything. It would be 2 shots regardless. The only difference is that with an intentional foul, you also get possession after the free throws.
Yeah, the other thing was Douglas was in the air as well. So, and Wekiva's going to dodge the proverbial bullet as the first free throw from Douglas is no good. So what should have been 2 points winds up being only 1. However, that still does increase the lead, and now we have a new high in terms of the biggest lead for Ocoee, 16 points, 48-32. As we drop under 1 minute before the end of the third quarter. The tray, misfire off the rim, strong rebound, doing the Windex work.
A nice block there for John Baptiste. Mustangs continue to stay in control, but that pass out of control from Davis. It was too high and too hot for Hardy to pull it in. It's a turnover.
Yeah, 7 turnovers in this quarter for Wekiva, now up to 16 total. So they had 9 in the first half. They've had 7 here in the third quarter alone. And a nice, easy hoop.
Yeah, that was too easy
for Steven.
Steven on the 2 from Jean Baptiste.
He was wide open. The defense nowhere to be found. You and I could have made that mark, and we're 5'8".
Jermaine Hardy Jr. answers for the Mustangs.
13 seconds remaining. Ocoee looking to get that lead back up to 16. Would tie them for the largest of the game. And they do have their non-starters in, and ball will remain in Ocoee possession. 1.3 seconds remaining. Inbound for Ocoee, and no shot. What released after.
That takes us to the end of the third period, and the Knights currently hold their largest lead of the game. A 16-point advantage for Ocoee. 50-34 is the score going into the final 8 minutes of this JV contest. We'll be back in a moment. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the fourth quarter. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, voice of the Mustangs and sports information director here at Wekiva High School, joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. Ready to take you through the last 8 minutes. And Neil, Mustangs need to find their mojo pretty quickly here if this one isn't going to slip away from them.
6-point lead at halftime is ballooned into 16. And mentioned before we went to the break, 7 turnovers in that third quarter for Wekiva. And certainly, I don't think you have to be a basketball guru to understand when you're turning the ball over 7 times, you're certainly putting yourself at a disadvantage. Obviously, you're giving the opponent many more opportunities to score. 18 of those points were scored off of turnovers by Ocoee.
Joseph McRae opens up fourth quarter scoring for the Mustangs.
So some flash and dash from McRae, and that cuts the lead to 14. Still early in the fourth quarter. Ocoee scored 7 of the first 9 points. They then increased that lead to as many as 14 in the first half before settling for that 6-point lead at halftime.
Yeah, and we were also talking about earlier, Neil, the most recent possession notwithstanding, Wekiva has been forced into taking a lot lower percentage shots. They've been taking fading outside jumpers, shots from well beyond the three-point arc, just not a lot of good penetration by the Mustangs. Block shot there, another example of that. And here comes a fast break, and it's an easy layup. Jamal Jean-Baptiste on the layup. And full timeout requested by Wekiva.
And so that'll up the lead to 52-36, 7:04 remaining. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher, and it's a 52-36 ball game. Coach Hardy not happy with the ease with which Ocoee managed to pick that ball and then get the fast break basket. It's a play we've seen several times from Ocoee tonight, and so calling the timeout there to try to put a stop to that momentum. Again, Hardy goes for the three. It's not there. Put back for Davis doesn't fall either, and the rebound goes to well, no, Wekiva is going to pull down one more.
Kick out to McRae, who drops the bounce pass. Over to Baker, misfires. And once again, Wells Reddick underneath that basket, using the Windex to get and coming up with another rebound. Ocoee will go back to work. 16-point lead, 6 minutes remaining in this game.
Being a little bit short on the tray. Hardy trying to get something done in transition and looking for maybe to draw a foul, but he does not as the Knights get all ball there. I think that was McBean that'll be credited with the block.
And Wekiva will maintain possession.
Trey is an air ball taken by McRae, but and the referee is going to whistle the play dead. I think we had a Knight who lost a shoe. So no change in possession. Wekiva keeps it. They'd already secured the rebound. McRae again, who is belied by his short stature and small frame. He has been big for the Mustangs tonight. But not that time as Jamal Jean-Baptiste scores 3 for the Knights.
Yeah, and Jamal Jean-Baptiste really stuck a dagger, even though it was the last play of the first quarter. He dropped a tray, and that really sent Wekiva reeling, and they just have not recovered if you want to look to a specific play.
Kevin Baker for 3 from Joseph McRae.
So Baker with 8 points. 5:20 remaining. 55-39, the largest lead of the game for Ocoee. It's the third time they've had a 16-point lead. And
actually, they had 19 until that tray.
Yes, excuse me. Actually, it was 19.
Foul is called against number 32.
So Ocoee maintains possession. 5:17 remaining in the game. 55-39 is the score.
That's Felix's 5th personal foul. He retires from the game with 4 points for the Mustangs.
So Ocoee inbounds the ball. And that's Wells Reddick trying to get the spin move. Rolls off the rim. And Wekiva will come down the other way to looking to cut into that 16-point lead. Ocoee has led from start to finish. That's Hardy throwing up a wild circus shot. Really had no opportunity to even catch rim, and Ocoee's going to take advantage, at least with an opportunity in transition. They're not able to convert, but nonetheless they do kill some more time off that clock.
Yeah, clock is definitely Ocoee's friend at this point. Wekiva, we still are waiting to see a really coordinated, clean effort. Get a good pick and roll going or get some inside motion that allows them to take a layup or a high percentage shot. We just haven't seen the Knights give that up. And, of course, credit where credit is due. That's not just Wekiva's failing. That's Ocoee making that happen. They've been excellent on defense all afternoon. Rebound comes to Alexis here.
So approaching 4 minutes remaining. And Wekiva's going to, pick up a turnover.
Adonis Davis, not a steal in the traditional sense, but he is definitely responsible for picking up that possession for the Mustangs.
And we talked about turnovers throughout that first half, of course. 9 turnovers for Wekiva became 7. 9 turnovers in the first half for Wekiva. They turned the ball over 7 times in the third quarter alone. And that really allowed the lead to balloon from 6 all the way to 16. But on the other hand, as you just mentioned, Mark, it's not just Wekiva's failings, but Ocoee's doing. They have certainly improved as the game has gone on in turnovers, only 3 in the second half. And so
McRae pulls a rebound off the floor, but Hardy can't convert the tray.
So another couple opportunities for Wekiva, unable to convert. And that goes back again to what you've been saying, Mark. Just poor shot selection, the quality of opportunity to be able to convert these field goal attempts, not very high.
Yeah, and nothing different on that last possession than what we've seen for the last 10 or 12 minutes of play time. We're going to get a timeout here.
And so
full timeout requested by the Knights.
And so that timeout will come with Ocoee holding a 55-39 lead. They've led from start to finish. We return to live action from Mustang Gymnasium. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi. Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network bring you the action. The score is 55-39. Ocoee in the lead, and they will up that lead again.
Wells Reddick adds 2 for the Knights.
3:15 remaining, and we've just seen a lot of that Wells Reddick, that move, especially here in the second half. He is now up to 15 points. Hardy drains the rain.
Jermaine Hardy Jr. for 3.
And so an answer, but that still leaves the score at 57-42. And another answer.
3 for Jamal Jean-Baptiste. Every time the Mustangs have managed to finally get something to go right, Ocoee has had an answer for it, and that has prevented Wekiva from really being able to do any significant chipping into that lead. Now we see back to the game high 18-point advantage and just 144 seconds left in this contest.
Yeah, and with 2:17 remaining, Ocoee now is going to probably just go to the delay game, try to kill as much of the clock as they can.
Well, they would probably do that. That would be an obvious choice, but that's not the choice they made.
No, well, in that particular case, Manly had a whole right side of that block open and took advantage of it, did not hesitate. So also just want to remind you quickly, about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this junior varsity game, the varsity teams will take to the floor as we get the inbound pass. And Wells Reddick again comes up with that rebound, sets up the tray from
Wells
McBean.
Reddick to Joseph McBean for three.
And so now, not that it really matters, Mark, this game has been decided long ago, but Ocoee does have the largest lead of the game at 63-42. And Wekiva in the dark uniforms, Ocoee in the white uniforms.
Held ball, possession Knights. Demir Simon in for Wekiva, Stephen in for Ocoee.
And a turnover, one of the rare mistakes.
That one would have been really embarrassing if Wekiva hadn't been able to come up with it. I think they had three guys that were closer than the nearest Knight.
Yeah, of course, that's only the fourth turnover in the second half for Ocoee.
And Wekiva nearly returns the favor, but the Knights are not able to control possession, and Hardy follows it all the way back. Again, tries to that jumper that's not there. Block shot by Steven. That's not going to work. Mustangs will go to the corner, and there it is. Demir Simon for three.
And 1 minute remaining, cuts the lead to 63-45. And Hardy is unable to get the deuce, but the withdrawal on the offensive rebound is scored.
Second chance basket by Demir Simon. And we'll pause for a full timeout called by Wekiva.
Yeah, and that basket will cut the lead to 63-47. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. So, welcome back to Mustang Gymnasium. 50 seconds remaining. Ocoee has led from start to finish. They currently enjoy a 63-47 lead. And Coach Hardy, the Wekiva coach, has just called a timeout, probably more just to keep his team spirit up.
Layup by David Manley.
And so really the difference has just been that Ocoee has played a better game. You can look at any number of statistics. A 6-point lead quickly descended into 16-point lead.
Pete Lewis for three.
At the end of the third quarter, and since then the lead has gone pretty much between 16 and 21. Ocoee has led almost the entire game, scoring 7 of the first 9 points.
Steven on the pass from Manley.
So Hardy will take one last opportunity and converts.
Jermaine Hardy Jr. for three. 25 points for Hardy today.
And that will be the final say in this game. Your final score is 67-53, Ocoee with the victory.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out tonight to support your Mustang or night athletes. Thanks also to those of you who joined us online on YouTube or the NFHS network. 67-53 is the final score of the JV contest. And we have one more to go. Stay with us for our headline event coming up next. Varsity takes to the court at 7:30. Again, for those of you listening online, please keep in mind each of the 3 games is its own separate live stream. And so we'll need you to exit out of this broadcast, and we will see you in just over 15 minutes on our next broadcast. Same channel, Wekiva Sports on YouTube, and the NFHS network as well.